you go, friend.
Thanks. Cool costume.
Thanks. My mom made it for me.
Superman for All Seasons, a comic produced by two legends of the industry, Jeff Loeb and the late Tim Sale. Now, there's certain comics you come across in your life, certain ones that just instantly grab you, pull you into their incredible and wonderful world, and when it hits you, truly hits you, no mere words could even come close to describing the feeling you so graciously feel when reading it. And for me, Superman for All Seasons is one of those special stories. I love this book, to Krypton and back. I love it so much that when reading it I could do nothing but sit in silence after I'd finished each issue, after I'd taken in the breathtaking artwork by the incredible Tim Sale, after I had fully absorbed each and every word by the maestro himself, Jeff Loeb. I'd sit there, staring off at whatever was there in my room, mostly my favorite figure in my collection, my sideshow Superman figure, and just try to comprehend how much this character means to me and how this story, this beautiful masterpiece, managed to make me feel every emotion under the sun, all the while encapsulating everything that I love about Superman. It's perfect. This story is perfect. It honestly doesn't get better than this. I mean, I laughed, I cheered, I read with pure awe. I even cried. And my journey with this comic, the things I felt, it's a true testament to the story, but also this character as a whole. Before we properly begin though, I want to take a quick second to say that here at the Stash, we're trying to reach 13,000 subscribers before the end of the month. It's a huge ask, I know, but with your help, I know we can also do it. So if you can, please subscribe today. Any support truly does mean the world to me. But with all that said, this is the second video of the month of Steel. Why Superman for All Seasons means everything to me. Now, I've read a lot of Superman stories in my life, some full of spectacle, others bursting with the myth of the character, and the common idea of the scale Superman stories should have, but for All Seasons, this one feels like home. It strips away all the noise, and in doing so, you truly feel at peace when reading this. It doesn't need an alien invasion or a crisis on infinite whatevers. It just simply shows us Clark. Not Superman. Not the icon. Nor the legend. Just Clark. The boy from Kansas trying to do right. The son. The friend. The man who just wants to help. And it's in those quiet moments, in the space between action, that this story finds its voice. It's in Pa Kent's narration, in Lois's ambition, in Lex's obsession, in Lana's heartbreak. It's in the way Smallville feels like it exists outside of time, just long enough for us to remember what truly matters. And as cliche as it might sound, reading this book reminded me why I fell in love with Superman in the first place. Not because he can fly or punch through walls, but because he chooses to be good. Because even when the world complicates things, even when Clark himself is rocked straight to his core, he doesn't lose who he is. And maybe that's what I needed to be reminded of. That no matter how messy life gets, there's strength in kindness, there's power in holding on to hope. And a part of the brilliance of Superman for All Seasons is how it doesn't shout at you, but rather it speaks softly. And in that soft, quiet voice that echoes throughout the book, it truly speaks volumes once you read and experience it. Each issue of Superman for All Seasons is named after a season of the year, and each one feels like a chapter of Clark Kent's soul. But what makes this book so powerful is that it isn't told by Clark. It's told by the people who know him, who see him, who love or fear him, or even can't understand him. And in doing so, you realize something beautifully simple and inspiring. That no matter who's telling the story, no matter how they see him, he's always the same. Be it steady, honest, or unshakably kind. It perfectly displays how Clark Kent doesn't wear a mask, rather he's just always himself. And in a world where that can often feel confronting or even daunting, it's something I needed. It's something that inspires me. And that unwavering sense of identity is exactly where the story begins. Spring, Narrated by Jonathan Kent, it's the season of beginnings, and Smallville is no exception. Clark's powers are growing, and so is his sense of purpose. But to Jonathan, Clark is still his boy, his son, and you feel the weight of that, of a father watching his child become something more than human while trying to raise him to stay human. The art, soft and nostalgic, paints Smallville like a memory you don't want to forget, and you get it. You understand why Clark is the way he is. Because he was simply raised right. Then hits summer. Told through Lois Lane's eyes, immediately you feel the intensity of Metropolis. The noise, the fire, the rise of Superman. This is the myth taking shape. But naturally, Lois doesn't just see a god, she sees a mystery. She admires him, even envies him. But at the heart of her narration is a search for truth. Who is this man that can fly? And what does he want? And in between all that, Clark is just trying to keep up. To be the hero the world needs, even if it means losing pieces of himself in the process. Then we go to Fall. Lex Luthor takes the center stage, and right off the bat, everything grows colder. This issue has this incredible battle within itself. The dark inner thoughts of Lex versus the warmth and kind actions of Superman. It's gripping, just like the whole series is, and here we get a real sense of what makes Lex tick. He doesn't hate Superman because he's evil. He hates him because he exists. Because Superman reminds Lex that power doesn't have to be cruel, that goodness can be effortless. And that terrifies him, especially when all the attention magically goes off him and onto the Man of Steel. Fall is when the winds change, when doubt creeps in. It's the moment Superman starts to feel the burden of being who he is. And Lex, well, he's right there, of course, ready to twist the knife even further. Lastly, to complete the cycle, we have winter. Lana Lang brings us home, and it's honestly heartbreaking. It's not the winter of snow, but rather the winter of the soul. Clark retreats to Smallville, lost in the silence of his own doubts, and Lana, who's always loved him, truly sees the boy behind the legend. Her words, full of compassion, help Clark walk out the other end of the dark tunnel, because she knows he once needed to leave, and now he just needs to remember. Remember who he is. Remember why he puts on the cape, not for glory, not for praise. Even when the doubt creeps in, even when he forgets why he started, he holds on to the one thing that never changes. Someone, somewhere, still needs him, and that's all the reason he's ever needed. Now for me, Superman for All Seasons goes far beyond just being a standard comic book. It's a reminder, a quiet aching whisper that speaks louder than any punch or explosion ever could. It's not about battles. Not really. Because this book at its core is just one man trying to do the right thing. One man caught between two worlds, heaven and earth, trying to hold on to both, and what it captures so perfectly is that strength isn't about power, nor flight, nor heat vision, or lifting buildings. It's restraint. It's compassion. It's about walking away when you could win. It's about holding back when you want to lash out. It's choosing kindness when no one would blame you for being cruel. All these things are Clark Kent, and this story displays that and so much more to perfection. To me, Superman's greatest power is his heart, and this book lets you feel it beating on every page. When I first read it, I didn't just admire Clark Kent, I understood him. I understood the boy who still misses home, the man who still questions his place in the world, the hero who doesn't save people because it's easy, but because he must, because it's in his nature to do so. This story didn't just change how I saw Superman, it changed how I saw myself, because truth is, there are days I don't feel strong. Days I don't feel like I belong anywhere, and just days I simply want to give up, but this book reminded me that to make a difference, sometimes you just have to keep showing up. You just have to care. Clark doesn't wear a mask. He doesn't hide who he is. He just is. Everywhere he goes, whether it's Smallville or Metropolis, he brings that same goodness with him. That same warmth. That same belief in people, even when they don't believe in themselves. And across these 4 seasons, as the leaves turn, as the snow falls, as everything changes, you realize the one thing that doesn't change is him. That's Superman. Not the costume, nor the symbol. The man. This book helped me see that. Help me feel that. And in a world that can feel so loud and fast and cold, Superman for All Seasons is a quiet place to land. A place to remember who you truly are and who you want to be. Because at the end of the day, someone, somewhere, still needs you. And that's all the reason you or I will ever need.